Hello everyone, I am therapist Shafi from Autism Gym Center and today I would like to talk about development of childhood occupation in children from 2 to 4 years old. According to Barton, there are five main stages of play in childhood. The first one is solitary play. By solitary play means the word itself that the child plays alone, focus on their own activity and seem unaware and interested of other things. So basically, this kind of play typically most common from 0 to below 3 years old. So the next one is onlooker play. But onlooker play means the child watch others play, but he or she does not engage in. Okay, for example, you see, the first child A, let's say A, he only play train trade like this. Woo! Okay, they put the train. But next to him, there's somebody else that playing like put the train track, move along their parents' arm like this. Okay. So that by parallel play means the child plays separately but close to others, often mimicking the action. So the next one, after they see somebody else do different kind of play, they start to take more interest. So they just play beside them, just wanna find out, oh, it could play like this, it could play like the other way, and not just this way. And this is most common in children below 4 years old. So the next one is associative play. But associative play means the child is interested in playing with others and interact with others during play. But the kind of play that does not seem organized at all, which means the child just play together without any goals, like not from point A to B, there's no cause and effect, something like that. The last one is cooperative play. By cooperative play means the child is interested in both the people playing and in the activity, which means the activity usually have rules, the start and end, and more social, like they have for assigned a role. For example, during cooperative play, they will use role play, mimicking their parent. Like for example, boy become the father, girl become the mother, and maybe they will play house or something like that. Now this is the most crucial because as they get more social in their own play, they are able to understand and develop the concept of teamwork, compromise, and understand each other's feeling. In recap, play is important because we are biologically wired to play. It gives the children the opportunity to practice skills what they need in future. Okay, as we know, children they will keep getting older. So soon they need to realize that they are no longer one single individual that lives in the house that is being dotted or sheltered by their family. They will learn to grow up, learn new things, learn new skills, go to school, and finally becoming an adult that needs to go to work. So as in the working world, we know that there are many problems and conflict will arise. So that's why self-esteem and problem-solving decision making is very important. It teaches how to resolve conflict and advocate, and we can develop and see through social play. For example, role play, turn taking, so that everyone get a chance to use their creativity, imagination, and ideas to present something. Alright, moving on to the first one, let's see what are the stages for 2 to 3 years old. Okay, let's see the gross motor performance scale first. In short, from this table, we can see that by 2 to 3 years old, the child should be able to walk from point A to point B without anyone's support, without relying on tables, cardboard or anything, and also without holding into rail. We can also see that by 2 years old, the child should be able to jump from one place to one place, even just tiny step, or even when you put a small table over there, they can jump over the obstacle. They can also start to kick things, but just randomly, like cannot aim for the right place yet. And they also should be able to catch one small ball from one step or two steps away when the object is being thrown over to them. Alright, moving on to the fine motor skill, which is very important. So typically around 2 to 3 years old, the child develops the palmar grasp. But palmar grip means this one. You see? 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers to hold a pencil or crayon. The hand is facing downwards the paper and they use their hands like this to scribble. But from ages 3.5 years to 4, the child should be able to learn to use their tripod finger. What tripod fingers mean? Index, middle, and thumb. These three. These three is very important as these are the strongest fingers. The other two, they are important as well, but they are used to for support. Okay. But by the kind of years, they still cannot move independently with their arm. So they usually use their wrist to like this. So it's not like the right force. We need to prompt them to use the right force to write properly, not too hard or not too soft like this. As for drawing, by this age, they should be able to typically draw a circle or an X. They cannot draw something with edges like square, triangle, pentagon or stuff first because those kind of shapes are quite complex to them. Alright, moving on to scissors. By 2 years old, we can practice the child use their fingers by use the child-friendly scissors for the plastic one. Okay, so the first step they will learn is how to open the scissors and usually they will use like this, both of their hands. So the first time you let the child learn how to open and close the scissors first without snipping the paper. One activity that you can do to increase the use of tripod fingers like tear paper with tripod fingers like this. Most child they will tear like this. So we prompt them physically by use only these three to tear like this. Okay. Alright, moving on. Let's see what a 3 to 4 years old child should be able to do according to their milestone. Alright, in terms of gross motor, by 4 years old, the child should be able to demonstrate a walking pattern similar to that of an adult. By this term, it means that the child is able to balance themselves, walk with the right stride, and not something like sometimes you see the child walk straight, but their head arches more facing upwards. And by 3 to 4 years, the child should be exhibit true running, which means they will run by moving on their arm, by swinging their arm in terms like this. And the next one, by hopping, should be able to jump from a higher place, and okay. So why hopping? Because it requires greater strength and balance than jumping. Because jump, you just jump, but hop, you you need to gather the strength first to balance yourself first. Take the strength, move to your body, and then you jump. So by this age also they will learn start to skip. Skip is quite hard because it requires lots of balance, practice and coordination. They need to use both of their hands and legs. They must be aware of them first so that they can do this kind of skip. Because skipping not only require your leg to jump, but also your wrist movement need to be aligned with the rest of the body. Okay, by 4 years old, the child has started to have more energy and they should be able to shift their weight, increasing the force and the strength. For example, 2 to 3 years old, you can set the goal by one step away, but once the child has shown more strength in control their wrist, their whole hand, you can use it. Throw this one more away, more further. Alright, continue to cutting. So by 3 to 3.5 years old, they should be able to use both of their hand or what we call in-hand manipulation to cut paper. So once they have mastered open and close the scissors using one hand, so now they need to use both. The dominant hand, it could be either right or left, hold the scissors, and the non-dominant hand, hold the paper. open, close, and then snip. Snip like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So almost reaching 4 years old, they should be able to cut shape. For example, can draw circle, then able to cut simple shapes like this, or there's a line, to draw a curved line like this. Alright, will become like this. For example, if you give them a star, they might not be able to cut them properly or accurately yet, because it requires a lot more movement from the hands itself. Usually we see that they have mastered the true use of scissors by 6 years and above. Overall, cutting needs lots of practice. Alright, last one, we need to see from their cognitive scale. As I mentioned before, by 2-3 years old, they should be able to identify and sort the shape and colors according to their own. For example, this one, same color, same shape. Imagine it and okay. And also, imaginative play always start to develop at this age, which means this one used as a bed for the place. This one becomes a sofa in the living room. By 3 to 4 years old, they should be able to categorize and sort object. Categorize, it means they know this one is the same as this one. These two are blocks. Okay. These two are papers. They are both light and white. This one is hard and blue. As term of playing, they will become more socialized towards role playing, more use of stuff like, for example, a blanket to become a hero, like cushion to become a spaceship. They will assemble the cushion, becoming pretend one to become a pilot, one to become a passenger, pretend play like that. In conclusion, children itself is like a sponge. It means they absorb everything what's given to them, everything that they see, because they are the best imitators. They learn from older children and adults. And this is why physical, cultural, and social contact is very important. For example, if the child is living in a rural area, they might go outside to play with their friend at different textures like a swamp, playing by the lake, or into the woods. But if the child is born and raised in a city, the parents usually won't let them out, especially during peak hours, because in a city, as we know, they involve like many strangers. Also, the rate of crime. So, what can the parents who live in city do? So, instead of letting their child out from the house without guidance, without keep an eye, they could bring the child to the playground or to a fun arcade to let the child explore the world. Child improve more of their play skills. For example, you can bring the children going to the going to the beach every weekend so that the child can take a lot of sandy. Oh, this one is sandy. The flow of water as a playground. Not only that, they could communicate and be more socialized, but also learn many things. For example, the playground has a slide. So once they reach, they need to climb the stair, improve their this one, so they can slide and they learn how to balance themselves. The other thing is the swing, which they can reach their hands like this and sliding down, catching other people. This kind of equipment also let them understand and play the turn taking. So this friend goes first, and the next one, the friend goes first. In conclusion, it is very important to monitor your child progress in terms of their fine motor, gross motor, cognitive, visual perception skills, as these skills are what needed to make the child can be able to mingle and live normally like other people. Let's say If you notice that the child has not completed or has not doesn't speak or do what the other kids are doing, it is important for you to see an occupational therapist to guide your child.